Now, when we look at this wireframe, when we build it, we want to identify all of the, let's see, identify the entities that are going to be in this application. All the users, quizzes, questions, answers, etc. And then, oh, you know what? Let's do this as well. We need to define the relationships between the entities. And I think I like that capital. I don't know that it matters, but that's what I'm going to do. So let's see. What else? I think I'm putting that in the wrong place. This is for later. Let me do this. I think for the wireframe, we're more about drawing a example, and we're identifying the elements. Identify an example, drawing an example, drawing a example, drawing an example, I don't know. Identifying the elements, such as buttons, forms, menus, and I'll just say etc. For the user flows, we want to set up the steps let's see, show the sequence of steps for a user to complete a quiz or survey. Try to figure out what any pain points might be, or areas of improvement if this application's coming from somewhere else, or as you're building it in your mind, or even here on this. So let's see here. So we need to plan the data model. So first we need to define the data model. We need to determine the storage requirements. Now this is more talking about, where we're going to put things and stuff. So we'll see data model. All of the entities, that was the stuff I had said before. And then let's see here. Choose a database scheme and data storage. This will probably be MySQL for us. You can build the same application in other databases, but that's the one I probably will be using. And then consider data security, because questions could have PII, personal identifying information, or it could even have other information. You don't want to get anybody's social security in this application. And do we need to back up? We probably don't, since this is for us, but you want to consider it and figure out how you could, in case you want to use this application when you're done for part of your portfolio. When you're looking for a job, you can say, hey, come check this out. Here's the steps I did for planning. And you can kind of do what I'm doing here, but inside here, estimate the resources and time. This is one part that most of us developers don't like, because there is no way to know. So this right now is going to be personnel for this particular application. Now you remember you're alone, but let's act like we were at a company. Developers, designers, and project managers. Depending on where you work, that could be just you, or that could be 5, 10, 15 people. Just kind of depends. Time. Since this is just for us, we have all the time in the world. Haha. But time in development, testing, and deployment. Budget. Now, you don't need this for your development testing on your own side. We're going to build it all on a local machine, but you do want to make sure you have space on your machine to be able to install some things. So let's see, software and infrastructure costs. Now, if we do it the way I'm doing it, we should be fine, but this is a good process to go through when you're building at a company so that you can offer your skill at figuring out this. Now, if you're like me, I'm not real crazy about this part of the process because I build things on the fly a lot of times when I'm doing it for myself. We need to break down the project. Break down the project to smaller tasks and milestones, and identify critical dependencies and potential roadblocks. One of the roadblocks is, most of the time, it's when you're building for yourself, you're the roadblock as well. But one of the roadblocks usually is also asking the customer what do they want and making sure you're accounting for all of that. So we have to decide, are we going to do testing? This is plan the testing. So I'm just going to say one testing strategies, quality assurance process. Now, some of this stuff I have not used because of the companies I've worked for, but if we can find a way to include these at some point, we might, because the more I teach, the more I learn. Integration testing and user acceptance testing. Now, what you want to do is, if you don't know what any of those are, you do want to go, not necessarily watch some videos, but go read some websites about what they are. Maybe then watch a couple websites, a couple of YouTube videos on each of those, and then come back and watch how we accomplish a lot of this stuff as we get going. Automated testing and manual testing. So now, let's see, the next thing we want to identify the quality metrics and standards. You can only figure out how good your quality assurance is if you have some kind of goal and standards set up. If you have nothing set up, then you easily can say, I succeeded. You can easily say, I failed. Do you need load balancing and us building it on our local machine? We won't need this, but when you're working for a company, once again, you might actually need it. So let's see here. Let's go down to the last step. So let's do one, deployment strategy. I probably should have done all of this in Cold Fusion first, but I'm I'm going to do this in PHP. Are we going to put it on cloud hosting? Virtual private server or dedicated server? Are we going to do load? Wait a minute. I got sidetracked here. I was going to say load balancing goes down here with deployment and maintenance. So load balancing. So let's see here. We need to establish. Oh yeah, I know. We need to establish a testing schedule and timeline. Now let me get back down here. Let's do, or did I already? No, I didn't. Maintenance and updates, because you know you're going to get updates. So for this particular application, do you need to do regular backups? On your local machine, you don't, but you want to be able to have a button you're able to push and have a backup of the data in the application. So if tomorrow the website fails, gets corrupted, gets broke into, gets deleted, whatever, it might be a good idea. And feature updates. Okay, so what kind of updates would we want to do, and how do we do that? And actually, I meant that here. Let's just change that to data recovery from the backups. You need to actually do a test of a backup, or you will not know that you can restore. Bug fixes and feature updates, monitoring and analytics. Monitor, oh good grief, monitor and analytics for performance and user behavior. Now, will we get to all of these? Probably not, but it's good to have this written down as something you want to think about, something you might want to do. If you're going to do monitoring analytics, you need to set up some analytics so you can have something that judges how quickly it takes for someone to get through a quiz. Is some of the pages loading slow? What is the user's behavior? Where are they pointing and clicking to? So, you know, some companies will want you to do that, and some will not. Some will be just happy that it's working because it's not going to be a whole lot of people. So now I've got this applications survey. I'm going to just call it quiz survey, I guess. So let's just create a folder. I'm going to do that with command line. Let me bring this over here. No, not that. Let me bring this. Come on. Bring this over here. This is going to be in PHP, and I once again am using Laravel. I will show you Laragon, not Laravel, Laragon. So Laragon, we'll change directory, and then we go to the www root, so you can see all the applications I have in there at the moment. We're going to make a directory, and we're going to call it quiz. I'm going to name it PHP quiz. It's also the survey. It's also the flashcards if I get everything built that I want. But let's start just calling it PHP quiz. In fact, I'm going to do like on the other ones. I'm going to put an underscore and just do lowercase quiz. So now I can go into PHP underscore quiz. Now, the reason why I did that was I'm going to use VS Code. So if I say code dot meaning at this particular location, open up VS Code in this exact location. The reason we're doing it with this word document is because we're going to create this stuff all in GitHub. So I'm just going to say documents, and that's not really part of the application. This is going to be where I store the documents related to this application. So now I can come back up here to the document I was working on. File, save as, this PC, and then I want to go to Laragon. That's not in the C drive, obviously. So let's just do this. And we will go to the C drive, scroll down to Laragon, go in there, go in WWA, and we've got PHP quiz. We'll go in documents and we'll say, okay, we're going to save the main requirements document. So now I've got this requirements document of what we're trying to accomplish. I hope this helps. And if you wanted to skip this web video, you could have, but I'm sure it's going to help some people. Hopefully it helps you. And if it hasn't helped you, go back and watch it again. I'm serious. Look at it. Think about it. Maybe even go get a copy of this. So let's first show how you can using VS Code, how you can actually push this up to your GitHub account. If you've got your GitHub account assigned on here and you go to VS Code, you click here, it's now saying there is no repository here. So we're going to say we want to initialize this folder as a repository, and actually, yeah, there's the document. I just want to make sure it's there. Oh, I probably need to close all of these Word documents. Let's just close them all. And hopefully I saved it. Let's go see if I did. That one we don't need to save. And this one we don't need to save. That was notes I had made to help me make sure I covered everything I wanted to cover. So let me make sure they're all closed. Okay, so I think I've closed all of them. I want to close that one. I don't want any open. Don't save. Hopefully I saved the one that I built. Let's actually go find out. We'll go back to here. We'll bring Windows Explorer. We'll go down to the C drive. Come down here to the C drive. We'll go down to Laragon. There's Laragon. We'll go in here to www. We'll go into PHP quiz. And we'll go right here and we'll open it. And we'll go look at the very bottom, and hopefully it has everything I did. And it looks like it does. It's saved. So I'm going to close it so that there's only one file there. I'm going to go ahead and close this. So we'll go back here. We initialized and it finished. And so I'm going to say this is the initial version. Initial version has nothing but the documents folder in this one document. I'm going to click Stage, and I'm just going to say Commit. Now, I haven't yet put it on GitHub, so I'm going to say Stage. Now I want to publish the branch. So I can click Publish the branch, and it asks me, do you want this to be private or do you want it to be public? I'm going to go ahead and make it public. So I'll click here on Public. That way you can go to PHP, you can go to my GitHub and go to PHP _ quiz, and you'll find the application. So I click there and it brings you right here, PHP quiz. I don't even have a README yet. So let's add a blank README. I'm going to go ahead and add it. This is going to be PHP quiz, and I'm going to mention, I'm going to go like this, and I'm going to say PHP quiz survey and gamification. I don't know what else I need to put. I'll just do that for now. So we are going to commit the change. I'm creating get started, create a README markdown file. Commit changes, and now that's done. So now I can go back to VS Code. If you've not done this before, you can see it says, hey, you've made changes. You need to pull down those changes. So I'm going to pull that down. And now we'll have two documents. We'll have the README and the document that's under here that's the requirements that we just built. Now, just because I'm showing you how I'm planning, doesn't mean that's the way your company, when you get hired, will want you to plan. If they have a document, you need to get that document, try to understand it the best you can, and fill it out the way they want. I hope this has helped somebody, and if you like what's going on, please try to subscribe. I'm trying to get to at least 200 subscribers soon. And also, if you tell other people about what I'm doing, as far as PHP applications and Cold Fusion applications, I would appreciate it. Only tell those that are interested in PHP and Cold Fusion or in learning to program. And you can make comments and ask suggestions of new stuff. Thank you very much. And hopefully this is a good one to get started working on.